Hello everyone and welcome back to the X-Ring. I hope you guys are having a great week and I hope you guys enjoyed the review on the high angle shooting that I filmed over at Big Ivy. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to give my evaluation of the new Speedtracker Mach 4. You guys have seen it in the last couple videos. I used it in the AXSR video as well as the AB suppressors video. Now, I'm going to talk about my relationship with all of these companies because this one I'm going to talk about on this video is going to be the MagnetoSpeed. This is kind of the gold standard for most of us. This is something that I actually picked up off the prize table at the Hornady PRC. It's been great, and if you guys understand how MagnetoSpeed works, it's at the muzzle, you're getting the muzzle velocity, and it is what it is, right? Now, on a Doppler system, whether it's a lab radar or an FX or the Speedtracker, that is sending a Doppler radar out, and what it does is it picks up the projectile downrange, and then it estimates the distance back into the muzzle, and then it gives an approximate velocity at the muzzle. So it's not quite as precise, but as long as all the software is working right and everything's calibrated correctly, it'll be pretty close. And from what I've seen, that's kind of the case. Now, in my testing with these units, what I've seen is the lab radar has the biggest error at about 7 to 8 feet per second error over the MagnetoSpeed. The Speedtracker runs about either dead on up to about 4 feet per second, and then the FX is averaging 3 to 4 feet per second. So these two are very, very close. Now, with regards to the FX, this is not mine. This is actually on loan to me by Manhole Customs. Big shout out to Jamie for allowing me to use it for this long to be able to compare it side by side. As far as Speedtracker, I'm going to give a big shout out to H&W Guns and Tactical. He is one of the distributors in the United States for Speedtracker because it is made overseas in Europe, and that's my relationship with them. I do not get to keep this unit. This was just on loan to me. And just so you guys know, they actually asked when they could have it back, and I told them, I said, I'm not ready to release it yet. Guys, for me, it's all about integrity. If I can't recommend a product and have enough time to evaluate it, then I'm not going to release a video because I'm kind of putting my name on the line there. And so they said they would loan it to me, but I've tested it on multiple platforms. My biggest hang up with the Speedtracker is the fact that they had their original unit, which was the Mach 4, not the Mach 4 Plus. And there were a lot of people that bought that unit and had some issues, not only with velocity calibration, just seeing a big disparity between the MagnetoSpeed, but also not being able to pick up shots. Quite a few people contacted me about that, about how it just didn't work. My biggest concern is, are they going to support those folks that trusted them in the beginning? Are they going to do something to make that right? Because this new unit, guys, I'm not going to lie to you, this is where it's at. This is a really, really nice unit. I've been using it all over the country. I actually flew out with it to Las Vegas. I had it in the AXSR video. I actually had it in Texas at the hog hunt. And I've actually reviewed this even earlier than that on the AB suppressors video on the 1022 and the Ruger RPR. I wasn't lying when I said to date I haven't missed a shot. I have tested all of these units on center fire with suppressor, without suppressor, rim fire with suppressor, without suppressor, pistols with and without suppressors, subguns, as well as ARs, like a Daniel Defense Mark 18 with a shorter barrel on the handguard, and the Speedtracker has picked up all the velocities. I've had zero issues. Let's talk about the MagnetoSpeed. Using this for a pistol is not the best option. It's actually impossible to use almost. I'm sure you could rig something up, but trying to get your pistol round to pass over this, if you didn't have a rail or something, you're not going to get those speeds. So for the guy that's the big USPSA competitor that's worried about power factor, he might have to use some other type of chronograph. There might be a way to do it that's easy. I just don't know how that's done, and I'm not going to mess around with it. I have other units for that. As far as the lab radar, I believe they've kind of sat on their laurels too long. That product's been out for 8 years without any major improvements or any design changes or anything. And it's just huge. It's gargantuan even compared to the FX Impact. This has quickly become one of my most favorite chronographs. While it's not the smallest thing out there, it's a lot smaller than the lab radar. It doesn't miss a shot either. It's $1,000. It's the same price as the Speedtracker. Works really well. It's very fast to set up, has a rechargeable battery, which I have yet to have to recharge. It just plain works. It also has a BC function where you can estimate the BC based on distances, which is how BC works. But I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see software like that coming from the Speedtracker Mach 4 Plus in the near future. I don't know that for a fact, but I wouldn't be surprised. These guys really haven't sat back and just let everybody kind of pass them. They've really been put a lot of time and effort into making this a really nice, portable, small, accurate unit. And when it comes to accuracy, it's there. 2582.
2582.
They both got it at 2582. Let's do it again. It is right there close to the FX, within about a foot or second. And sometimes it's as dead on as the MagnetoSpeed. You're always going to have some type of variance when you're talking about Doppler radars. This is so simple to use. You can mount it. You can shoot it on the rifle while you're shooting a match. That's not something that I'm going to do, but I know some people might be interested in getting that information real time. It is super small. Carrying this in my carry-on luggage, you don't even know you have it. It has a good feel to it as far as the quality of construction. But once again, my biggest thing is what are they going to do to support the people that first bought into the company and trusted them with that. So as far as the review, I am going to give it a thumbs up because it works on about everything, even the pistols. Placing it on a tripod or placing it on that little rubber stand and shooting alongside of it, I'm still able to pick up all of those velocities. The FX is kind of no-brainer. You shoot whatever it is you have beside of it and shoot it, and it's going to pick it up. So they're both great units, and what it's going to come down to is portability and mountability. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that good, honest review of what I thought about these chronographs. And while we're at it, I do want to talk about the Andy scan. I did have the opportunity to review that alongside of these. I did not include it or ask for that in the review because it's one of those things I wouldn't feel comfortable ordering, although I know that the company's good and it's solid. You've got to pay your $800+ to a company overseas. There's very little communications. And then one day it arrives at your house in a 3D printed housing with a little teeny tiny screen. And it works really well, but that's not the type of product I want in my life right now. Okay, maybe it works great. Maybe it's got a sensor that works really, really well. But I want something with more of a name brand behind it as far as somebody that I can go to if a year from now something breaks, that I can make good contact with them. So what I've been told is the communication is kind of lacking with regards to purchasing an Andy scan. I don't know those guys. I don't want to make any enemies or anything, but at the same time, this is what I hear from the owners that have them and use them. They said that the ordering process is sketchy at best. So I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you have a good weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Have some great content coming up, especially some new firearms, something from B&T. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one.